Eva Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvatokam Narsingam Bhishanam Baddham Mrityo Namamyaham Tavakara Kamala Varenakam Adbhuta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubindam Keshavadeta Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jaya Nasimhadev 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 Jaya Nasimhadev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Om Ajnanandatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuvunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pachavine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Devashatavine वाञ्छकल्पातरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर सदि भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सर्वगणनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं प्रयोजनसेतं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च Hare Krishna. Welcome all devotees for the most auspicious and holy festival of Sri Narasimha Caturdasi. Sri Narasimhadev Mahamahotsav ki jai. Sri Narasimha Caturdasi. Yes. So everyone approaches Lord Narasimhadev for protection. In fact, so I have my daughter. I have two daughters, and also I have seen this is the case with all devotees, devotee children, means children who are born in the families of devotees. The first one of the first prayers that they learn is Narasimhati. The reason being, everyone has full faith and full faith in the protection of Lord Narasimhadev. So today is the most auspicious day when Lord Narasimhadev appeared. There is a verse which tells in Srimad Bhagavatam it comes Satyam Vidhatum Nijavitya Bhashitam Vyaptim cha Bhuteshu Akhileshu Chatmanam Adishtat Adbhutavupam Udvaham Stambe Sabhayam Namigam Namanushim. The translation goes as follows. To prove that the statement of his servant Prahlad Maharaj was substantial, in other words, to prove that the Supreme Lord is present everywhere, even within the pillar of an assembly hall, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, exhibited a wonderful form never before seen. The form was neither that of a man nor that of a lion. Thus the Lord appeared in his wonderful form in the assembly hall. So we know that Lord says whenever he appears, why he appears. Yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bhavata abhyuthanama dharmasya tadatmanam swijamyam parittanaya sadhunam vinashaya cha duskritam dharma samsthapanataya sambhavami yuge yuge. So there were two explicit reasons are given why Lord appears. One is Pavitranaya Sadhunam, and second is Vinashaya Chaduskritam. So Vinashaya Chaduskritam is to destroy demons like Hiranyakashipu. And the stanza, the phrase which comes before that is Pavitranaya Sadhunam, to protect the devotees. So the reason why Lord appears in this world, it is more for protection of his devotees and more out of compassion to deliver the fallen souls present in this world. And obviously, Vinashaya Duskritam is there, that is to destroy the demons, but Lord has unlimited ways by which one can destroy the demon. Just for example, Lord is there as Paramatma in everyone's heart. If Lord wants, he can just damage the heart. He doesn't even need to appear as a form and engage in battle. But obviously, Lord comes in the form of Lord Narasimha to enjoy VES, that is to enjoy, to have a challenging sporting atmosphere where he can fight with demons. Lord comes, but the most important reason his Lord appears is to protect his devotees, and also to keep the word of his devotees. For example, uh, in Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says, Kaunteya patijanihi name bhaktya panasyati. So Krishna tells to Arjuna, "Oh Arjuna, please declare that my devotee never perishes." So Krishna is saying Arjuna to declare, my devotee never perishes. Why he says Arjuna to declare? Because Krishna makes sure that the devotee's vow is maintained. Here also we see, if Lord wishes, Lord is above. Obviously, without a doubt, Lord is more powerful, and is the primary originator of the entire creation. He is the Shrishtikarta. So it is Lord Narasimha, Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, from whom the entire creation manifests. Janmadi asya yataha. And if Lord wishes, he could have killed Hiranyakashipu, irrespective of what benedictions Lord Brahma gave to Hiranyakashipu. But Lord Brahma is also a devotee of Lord Krishna. So he keeps the vows, he keeps the word of the devotees. He gives a lot of value to the word of devotees. And for that reason, he appears in a form which actually takes some time for Hiranyakashipu to realize what form is this. Because he is unable to ascertain what is this. First, he hears loud sound appearing from a pillar, and then from the pillar comes Lord Narasimhadev. And looking at the form of Lord Narasimhadev, it takes some time for Hiranyakashipu to understand and realize what is happening, because the form of Lord Narasimhadev was so wonderful. The world had heard of a form where there's a body is made of half lion and half human being. And we know that Lord Narasimhadev appeared in this specific form to make sure that Lord Brahma's benedictions, which he gives to Hiranyakashipu, that Hiranyakashipu had done a lot of tapasya to to please Lord Brahma, and in return he asked that he should not be killed on land nor on sky, nor in the sky. He should neither be killed by any astra or shastra, nor in the daytime, nor in the nighttime. And he also says, practically, he says, I should not be killed by any creation that has been created by you, O Lord Brahma. So Lord Narasimhadev comes and he satisfies all the benedictions, making sure that Lord Brahma's benedictions are also being maintained, and simultaneously he kills Hiranyakashipu. So Lord Narasimhadev is appreciating and he's keeping the word of his devotees. And that is why sometimes it is so great that even sometimes Lord even breaks his own vow to maintain the vow of his devotees. And for that reason, he says to Arjuna, "Oh Arjuna, declare Kaunteya Patijanihi Name Bhaktya Panasyati," because he makes sure a devotee's word is maintained. And we can understand how much loving relationship is there between Lord and his devotees. So in fact, I was just having few lectures on related to Lord Narasimhadev's Leela. So I heard that Kashyap Muni, so Kashyap Muni, we know that Diti approaches Kashyap Muni at an inappropriate time for union, and Kashyap Muni says that this is not an appropriate time for to unite, because the children, the progeny that may come when you become pregnant, may not be very beneficial to the world. And then, but still they unite, and then Diti becomes pregnant. And then when Diti very happily comes and announces the news to Kashyap Muni, so after the children are born, Diti becomes very happy, and she approaches Kashyap Muni, please tell what would be the future of these children. So she comes with a lot of anticipation of positive news. But Kashyap Muni says, "Oh Diti," he says exactly that your sons will be the cause of huge terror in the universe. They'll be like terror of the universe. Your sons will be terror of the universe. But your grandson would have a fame which is equal to that of the Supreme Personality of Godhead." So he forecast this, that the sons of Diti would be cause of a tremendous amount of terror and trouble in the universe, hearing which Diti becomes very upset. And also Kashyap Muni says, your grandson would have a fame which is equal to that of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Kashyap Muni is indicating to Prahlad Maharaj. Now, what does this mean? This is a very interesting kind of a forecast which says a fame of a person is equal to that of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. How is that possible? So, and how is this possible? So, and what does it mean actually? What does fame equal to the Supreme Personality of Godhead mean? So I heard that the meaning means that when you so we all know that we glorify the Lord. When we chant the holy name of the Lord, we get purified. Our consciousness gets purified. Chito darpanamajanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam shreya kaiva vachandika vitavanam vidya vadu jivanam anandam mudivardhanam patipatam purnamrita swadanam sarvatmastapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. It elevates us, it purifies our consciousness, and it takes us from a stage where we are contaminated by material consciousness to the extent that we get relieved from all of our anxieties, and then we start tasting nectar, we start tasting happiness, which is growing more and more and more. So that is what happens when we chant the holy name of the Lord and when we glorify the Lord. The meaning what a fame which is equal to the Supreme Personality of Godhead means, if we glorify the character, the pastimes of the pure devotees, it is equally effective in purifying the heart. So this is something amazing. It's not just by glorifying the Lord, but also by glorifying Lord's unalloyed devotees that our heart can get purified. So it is, whenever we discuss the pastimes of Lord Narasimha, we always discuss Prahlad Maharaj. And if we glorify the pastimes of if we glorify Lord Prahlad Maharaj, we naturally we are discussing about Lord Narasimha. And we also know that Prahlad Maharaj is a devotee. He's, first of all, he's a Mahajan. He's one of the 12 Mahajans, whom Yamraj says that he is one of the 12 authorities of devotional service. He represents um, that the quality aspect of devotional service, which is of Krishna Smaranam, that is remembering the Lord and remembering the glories of the Lord. He excels in that aspect. In fact, in fact, Prabhupada quotes the prayers, the teachings of Prahlad many a times. In fact, there is even a small book on teachings of Prahlad Maharaj. So Prahlad Maharaj has such fame. He quotes hundreds of times. He quotes Prahlad Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj teachings over 100 times in his books, Prabhupada teaches. And we also know that when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was in Jagannath Puri, he would daily go and meet Gadadhar Pandit, and then they would discuss Srimad Bhagavatam. And whenever pastimes of Dhruva Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj would come, Mahaprabhu would ask Gadadhar Pandit, "Oh Gadadhar, please repeat these pastimes again and again." They would hear the same pastime of Prahlad Maharaj again and again. So, hearing the pastime, the glorious nature, glorious qualities of Prahlad Maharaj and his devotion to the Supreme Lord is it's very purifying to the heart. Now we know how this pastime begins. Hiranyakashipu, he was very much upset that his brother Hiranyaksha was killed by Vishnu's another incarnation, that is of Varadev. He killed Hiranyaksha, and Hiranyakashipu was very much upset. He thought Hiranyaksha was a very kind gentleman. He was a gentleman, and he was considering Vishnu as enemy. And then he set out to do tapasya. So tapasya is generally is done by both suras and asuras, that is by the beings in the heavenly planets, the demigods, and also the demons. Even they do tapasya. And the idea of doing tapasya was to get benedictions. Now, Hiranyakashipu, when he set out to do tapasya, his tapasya is glorified in scriptures. In fact, Lord Brahma says, no person in the past or no person in the future would be able to do as much austerities as Hiranyakashipu has done. And what Hiranyakashipu wanted to do, what he wanted a certain benediction from Lord Brahma. He wanted to become immortal. And when Hiranyakashipu asked for immortality, Lord Brahma said, I cannot give you immortality, because even myself, even I am not immortal. Even I have a lifespan. So ask for some benediction. And then Hiranyakashipu, he asked for all kinds of benedictions by which he could assure that he will not be defeated and he will not die. Now one may ask, why is it that he was looking for immortality? Why is it that Hiranyakashipu was looking for immortality and such kind of benedictions? So people are looking for those kind of benedictions based on which people think that they can understand, they can get happiness, or they can get power. So in this context, if we see, everyone, each and every personality has a different vision of what the world is and what each item of a world that is present in this world can give us satisfaction in. For example, if you consider there is a young beautiful girl who is very well dressed with lot of ornaments, gold ornaments in her neck, and she is walking on the road. A person who is lusty would see that young beautiful girl in a lusty way. A thief, a thief who is very much looking for robbing, who wants to become rich by robbing, he would look at the girl. He may get attracted to the girl, but his focus is completely on the gold ornaments. And a vulture or a hyena or an animal which looks for prey and which looks for dead bodies, if that vulture or hyena it looks at the girl, they may be literally waiting for this girl to die so that they can eat the dead body. So it essentially means what you look from the world, what you look at each item in the world depends on our consciousness. So we know that there is this Panchakosh, there is Annamaya Kosh, where you think that the entire world is meant for feeding myself. There is also uh, then we we also have what we say Pranamaya Kosh. Then we have Manomaya Kosh, Vijnanamaya Kosh, Anandamaya Kosh. So we have this different koshas. So based on what level of consciousness is, we see the world, and we see each person, and we see each object the way we perceive that thing accordingly. So if we really want to perceive the world as it is, how can we perceive the world the way it is correctly supposed to be understood? That is the way is to approach the supreme personality of Godhead, who is the Shrishtikarta, who has made this entire material creation. So when you approach the supreme personality of Godhead to Shastra, to Guru, to devotees, we understand exactly how we are supposed to see the world. Otherwise, based on our own efforts, we'll keep seeing world and different objects and items based on our level of consciousness, based on the kosh which we are stated in. So now Hiranyakashipu thought if he becomes immortal and if he becomes the most powerful in the entire universal creation, he thought that he'll become happy by that. Now, this pastime of Narasimha Leela, where we see Prahlad Maharaj, Hiranyakashipu, it's an excellent, it's a, this pastime gives a very excellent lesson, that is, no matter how much you have, no matter how much control you have, there is no guarantee you'll be satisfied. Just think about the level of control we have. So Hiranyakashipu was not only the richest in the planet, he was richest among multiple planets. He was not only ruler of a single country, he was ruler of the entire planet, in fact, multiple planets. He was he was so powerful that everyone was fearful of him. Now just consider the most powerful person in this world, or the most richest person in this world. Say the richest person in this world is, say, it's Jeff Bezos. He has tens of billions of dollars. Last Sunday, the weather was so pleasing, and everyone wanted to go out to relish the nice weather in the summer. Now, if it is feasible, everyone would desire that let the weather throughout the year be something like the weather it was on last Sunday. The temperature was ideal. It felt so nice. But do we have control over that? No. What we can do is we can make our home temperature controlled. We can make our home in a way which looks excellent. You may feel comfortable at your home, but still there is a rasa, there is a mellow when we go outside when the weather is good. And for that reason, no matter, even if you're the president of the United States of America or president of any other country or the richest person in the world, you would still want to go outdoors, and you may want to go for some kind of hiking or some kind of outing, because there is some nice feeling there is when you go out and you are in the nature. Now, who in this world has control over nature? Who in this world can have control, can make the entire world temperature controlled, the temperature which one wants? No one has it, but Hiranyakashipu had it. So that is the kind of power that Hiranyakashipu had. He had even the demigods and the mother nature, um, which supports the population. They were fearful of Hiranyakashipu, and they would do as per Hiranyakashipu's wishes just when Hiranyakashipu would raise his brows. But still, there was only one thing, that is Hiranyakashipu's son, Prahlad Maharaj, did not listen to him. So despite having control over the entire world, over all resources, over all people, But just because he did not have control over his child, he was still dissatisfied. So we can as well be certain that we will not have as much control as Hiranyakashipu has. So with that, we can also we can extrapolate or interpolate that there is no way that having no matter how much wealth or how much control we have, it's going to give us happiness. So how can we get happy? So we should approach the Srishtikarta, the person who has created this world. And from the scriptures, we understand by listening to the glories of the Lord, by chanting the holy name of the Lord, by realizing our true self, that is the way of how we can get happiness, not by the way of gaining a lot of power, wealth, opulence, facility to deal with opposite sex. No, it is not with that. So this is one important lesson we learn from Lord Narasimha's Leela. Another very nice lesson is tapasya. So what does tapasya mean? Austerity. Austerity means accepting voluntary trouble. So first of all, it should not be pleasing to us. If there, something may be trouble, may apparently look troublesome, but if it is not affecting us, then that is not tapasya. And second thing is, it may happen that I go out and I do not have a raincoat, I do not have an umbrella, and it rains. So it is troublesome, but that may not have been voluntary. So even then it is not tapasya. When it is being forced upon us, that is not tapasya. Tapasya is when you accept voluntary suffering. So actually Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he cautions devotees about not doing excessive tapasya. The reason being, tapasya in itself, um, what we say, just tapasya in itself without connection to Krishna can make our heart hard. So tapasya may give us tapobal, but just doing tapasya for the sake of tapobal or just for the sake of getting power, that will make our heart hard. So it is a very nice analogy. I heard a very nice analogy with regards to tapasya. So that doing tapasya, doing austerity is very important. It is a pillar of dharma. So it is important that devotees do some tapasya, like following the tapasya we do is following the four regulative principles, chanting the holy name of the Lord daily, and following Ekadashi, and also celebrating festivals. So these are certain tapasya which have been encouraged. So doing certain amount of tapasya is good. Doing excessive tapasya can make our heart hard. Doing frivolous tapasya can make us lose in our Krishna consciousness. So tapasya, doing tapasya is like tightening a sitar. This I heard this very nice analogy. So you have strings in a sitar. If you keep the strings loose, if you don't tighten it, you won't get nice music from the sitar. And if you tighten it more, once you may play, it may give some sound ting, and then suddenly the string breaks. So in this context, there is this nectar of instructions we hear niyam agraha and niyam agraha. So we getting excessively attached to the rules and regulations mentioned in the Vedas and not being attached to the rules and regulations mentioned in Vedas, both of them are dangerous. So there has to be a very nice balance. Now we can imagine now Hiranyakashipu, he wanted to do tapasya to take revenge, to take revenge to against Vishnu, because he considered Vishnu as his enemy because he killed his brother Hiranyaksha. So Hiranyakashipu had absolutely no loving relationship with God, and he did a tapasya. He did tapasya like the extent of tapasya is something which is even glorified to this day. No one has been able to do such tapasya. He was standing on his toes, not on feet, on toes, raising his hands up with all his fingers up, and he was standing like that for many hundred celestial years. So for many years he was standing like that, and when he was standing like that without moving, the ants and other worms had come up and they had eaten his body, but still he did not leave his tapasya. But because Hiranyakashipu did not have relationship with God, his tapasya led to only hard-heartedness. He was very happy. He was very happy in controlling the living entities. And I heard that the intoxication of power, the intoxication of the power where you can cause, um, the power where you can make a living entity suffer at your will, any person suffer at your will, that intoxication is considered to be more greater than the intoxication of lusty desires, fulfilling their lusty desires. So Hiranyakashipu was intoxicated with the power. And also he had other, Hiranyakashipu also means Hiranya and Kashipu, that is gold and software. So he was attracted to wealth and opposite sex, but the intoxication of power wherein you can create um, another living entity suffer at your own will, it seems that intoxication is very powerful. And Hiranyakashipu, he did so much tapasya without connection to God, his heart became very hard-hearted. And for a parent, we can just understand, for a parent can never create so much trouble for his child, but Hiranyakashipu was ready to kill his own 5-year-old child just because he was not ready to listen to his words. So we can understand the extent of hard-heartedness that Hiranyakashipu had built. Then there is then there is another. So a very popular verse which Prabhupada quotes of Prahlad Maharaj is Matena Krishna Pavatasvato va mito vipadyeta grihavatanam Atanta gobe vishatam tamisham puna punascha vitachavananam. So here one of the meaning is Matena Krishna Pavata Svato va mito. These three words are important. Swato means by my own efforts. Pavato means by others' efforts. Mitho means by collaborative efforts. So if the way of attaining Lord's lotus feet, Lord Krishna's lotus feet, is only to devotees of the Lord. It is not possible to Swata, Pavata, and Mitho. Meaning, if there is a person, say if I do not know about Krishna, then by my own efforts I cannot know Krishna. I cannot even know Krishna and understand the relationship with Krishna, and I cannot even develop bhakti to Krishna. Now, Pavato, if there is another person who is also not he is not a devotee to Krishna, Krishna says that Bhajanti, you can only understand me by devotional service. So if there is another person who is equally ignorant of Krishna, even he cannot help us to understand Krishna. And even if we collaborate with the other person to think logically about Krishna, even those efforts will not allow us to think about Krishna. The only way by which we can understand Lord Krishna, God, is through his devotees. It is similar to, if it's like a bankrupt merchant wants to make a multi-billion-dollar business. A bankrupt merchant cannot build a multi-billion-dollar enterprise. How can he build a multi-billion-dollar enterprise in association with another bankrupt merchant? It is only possible if there is a other person who can help us, or if we are very poor in our studies. Another person who is very poor in his studies can also not help us, but a person who is very good in his studies can teach us, and he can bring us close to Krishna. So so if we forget, for example, consider if we forget our car keys. If we forget our car keys, what we do? We may search all around our home, and then later on we may meet someone and they may say, okay, when was the last time you saw your car keys? Then you may have a discussion with that person where you may have kept the keys. And in that discussion, you may realize, okay, oh, I was talking to my friend over phone, and that time I had sit in the park and I left my car keys there. And that is how I may go back and get back my car keys. The difficulty in this world is we do not even realize that we have lost our car keys. We do not even realize that we are not these bodies. We are spirit souls, and that we have a loving devotional service, loving connection with Krishna. So our situation is we do not even know that we are missing something. So that is why it is very important that devotees association is extremely important. And Lord Narasimha also, when Lord Narasimha appears, he says that a discussion comes where Prahlad says that the only reason where I am able to speak all these verses and I'm able to practice Krishna consciousness is because of my Guru Maharaj, Narad Muni. And Lord Narasimha also says that the reason I come here is because of Narad Muni. So association of devotees is extremely very, very important. I'll end with one final point. A question may come, why is it that Lord can put his devotees into so much difficulty, in so much trouble? Lord says he protects his devotees, then why is it that he gives so much trouble to the devotees? So the answer is, Lord Now we should understand here the word devotee is being used. It doesn't refer to people who are sadhakas. So most of us, we are sadhakas. We are just practicing, we are doing bhajana, and we are on the process of sadhana bhakti, wherein we are hoping that we attain pure love of Godhead. But here, when we talk of devotees, when we say why Krishna or Lord troubles his devotees, we are talking of devotees of the caliber of Prahlad Maharaj. So Prahlad, so we, yeah. So the only and main reason why Krishna puts devotees in trouble is to magnify the devotee's duty. So to magnify the devotee's duty, and devotees' only duty is to serve their Lord, irrespective of what trouble there is. So Prahlad Maharaj had so much trouble from because of Hiranyakashipu, but still he did not leave the shelter of his Lord. And it actually glorifies and it magnifies the devotee's devotion to the Lord. We see even Jesus was put in a lot of difficulty. In fact, Prabhupada uses the word superficially they face difficulty. So it seems I did not read where exactly, but I heard in a lecture where it seems Prabhupada said Jesus was superficially killed by so and so person. So why? Because obviously we are not this body. Spirit soul is eternal. Soul cannot be killed. But when we see Jesus or Haridas Thakur or Prabhupada, when they undergo such troubles, their glory increases much more. So I can continue, but I'm assuming Aarti will start soon.
Saraswati Gauravani
Shri Narasimha Dev Bhagwan ki jai.
Jayo Jayo Gaura Chande Arati Koto Jayo Jayo Gaura Chande Arati Koto Ibadaki mutai ya Mame Gadadhara Ibadaki Mimitai ja Mame Gadadhara Adi Devagade Arati Kore Adi Devagade Divanara Hari Adi Kori Kamara Dhula Divanara Hari Adi Kori Kamara Dhula Sanjaya Putra Ghoshadika Sanjaya Putra Ghoshadika Diva Sankha Bhatte घंटा बाजे बाजे करता घंटा बाजे बाजे करता मधुरा प्रीता para 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 मधुर 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 पाती टंका बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 पाती टंका बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे टंका बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निकल गौरव हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निकल गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल की बहू कोटि चंद्रकिनी वदन उज्ज्वल बहू कोटि चंद्रकिनी वदन उज्ज्वल Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Namaste Narasimhaya, Hiranyakati Purvabhyaha Vitatam Kanakalaye Ito Narasimha Parato Narasimha Ito Narasimha Parato Narasimha Yato Yato Yamitato Narasimha Vahi Narasimha Ridam Ye Narasimha Vahi Narasimha Ridaye Narasimha Narasimha Jayana Namaste Narasimha Jayana Namaste Narasimha Jayana Namaste Tatara Kamala Vare Nakamadhuta Shringa Dalita Hiranya Kasipo Tanu Bringa Ekamadrita Naramari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Narasimha Dev. Jayo Narasimha Dev, Narasimha Dev, Narasimha Dev, Jayo Narasimha Dev. Narasimha Dev, Narasimha Dev, Narasimha Dev, Narasimha Dev. Jayo Narasimha Dev, Narasimha Dev, Narasimha Dev, Narasimha Dev. Jayo Narahari, Jayo Narahari, Jayo Narahari, Jayo Narahari. Jayo Kallan Maharaj, Kallan Maharaj, Kallan Maharaj, Jayo Kallan Maharaj. Jayo Kallan Maharaj, Jayo Kallan Maharaj, Kallan Maharaj, Jayo Kallan Maharaj. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Jayo Radha Gopti Madhava Gopti Vallabha Jayo Radha Gopti Vallabha Jayo Jagannath Jayo Jagannatha Jayo Baladeva Jayo Subhadra Jayo Gauranitai Jayo Gauranitai 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 Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Gaura Premanande Om Vishnupada Namaskar Asto The reminder ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवचनाचार्य अष्टोदश श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर श्रील प्रभुपाद की, नामाचार्य श्री दास ठाकुर की। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की। गंगा माई की, यमुना माई की, भक्ति देवी की, तुलसी देवी की, कलयुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की। श्री गोपिका श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की, ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की, पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथ पुरी धाम की, मायापुर धाम की। श्री राधा गोपी वल्लभा जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा श्री गौरीताय संध्या आरती की। श्री नरसिंहदेव भगवान की, श्री नरसिंहदेव भगवान की। श्री नरसिंह चतुर्दशी महामहोत्सव की। श्री नरसिंह चतुर्दशी लाउडली प्लीज। श्री नरसिंह चतुर्दशी महामहोत्सव की। भक्त शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की, भक्त शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की। गौर प्रेमा नंदे हरि हरि बोल। All glories to us and devotee. All glories to us and devotee. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga.
Here it is. Spiritual. You all can chant along. ईश्वरा परमा कृष्ण सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर गोविंद सर्व कारण कारणम् चिंतामणि प्रकर सत्म सुकल्प वृक्षा लक्षावृतेषु सुरभिरभिपालयन्तम् लक्ष्मी सहस्रशत संभ्रम सेव्यमानम् गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि वेणुवनन्तमरविन्ददलायताक्षम् बर्हावतं समसितं बुधसुन्दराङ्गम् कन्दर्पकोटिकमणीयविशेषशोभम् गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि आलोलचन्द्रकलसद्वनमाल्यवंशी रत्नाङ्गदप्रणयकेलिकलाविलासम् श्यामं त्रिभङ्गललितं नियतप्रकाशम् गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि अङ्गानि यस्य सकलेन्द्रियवृत्तिमन्ति पश्यन्ति पान्ति कलयन्ति चिरं जगन्ति आनन्दचिन्मय सदुज्ज्वल विग्रहस्य गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि अद्वैतमच्युतमनादि अनन्तरूपम् आद्यं पुराणपुरुषं नवयौवनं च वेदेषु दुर्लभमदुर्लभमात्मभक्तौ गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। पन्थास्तु कोटिशतवत्सरसम्प्रदम्यो वायोरथापि मनसो निपुङ्गवाणा सोऽप्यस्ति यस्प्रपदसिद्ध्यविचिन्त्य तत्त्वे गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं भजामि। एकोऽप्यसौ रचयितुं जगदण्डकोटिम् यच्चक्तिरस्ति जगदण्डचयाय अण्डान्तरस्थपरमाणुचयान्तरस्थम् गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं भजामि। यद्भावभावितधियो मञ्चास्तथैव सम्प्राप्य रूपमहिमा सनयानभूषा सुप्तैर्यमेव निगमप्रथितैस्तु मनसि गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं भजामि। आनन्दचिन्मयरसप्रतिभाविताभिः एव निजरूपतया कलाभिः गोलोक एव निवसत्यखिलात्मभूतो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं भजामि। प्रेमाञ्जनचरितभक्तिविलोचनेन सन्तस्तदैव हृदयेषु विलोकयन्ति यं श्यामसुन्दरमचिन्त्य गुणस्वरूपम् गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं भजामि। रामादिमूर्तिषु कलानियमेन तिष्ठन् नानावतारमकरोत् भुवनेषु किन्तु कृष्णस्वयं समभवत् परमः कुमार्यो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं भजामि। यस्य प्रभा प्रभवतो जगदण्डकोटि कोटिष्वशेषवसुधादिविभूतिभिन्नम् तद्ब्रह्मनिष्कलमनन्तमशेषभूतम् गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं भजामि। माया हि यस्य जगदण्डशतानि सूते त्रैगुण्यतद्विषयवेदविपायमाना सत्त्वावलम्बि परसत्त्वविशुद्धसत्त्वम् गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं भजामि। गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं भजामि। गोलोकनाम्नि निजधाम्नि तले च तस्य देवी महेश हरिधामसुतेषु तेषु ते ते प्रभावनिचया विहिताश्चयेन गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। सृष्टिस्थिति प्रलय साधन शक्तिरेका छायेव यस्य भुवनानि बिभर्ति दुर्गा इच्छानुरूपमपि यस्य च चेष्टते सा गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं भजामि। क्षीरं यथा विविकारविशेषयोगा सञ्जायते न हि ततः पृथगस्ति एको यः शम्भुतामपि तथा समुपैति कार्यात् गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं भजामि। दीपार्चनैव हि प्रशान्तरमाप्युपेत्य दीपायते विवृतहेतुसमानधर्मा यस्तादृगेव हि च विष्णुतया विभाति गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं भजामि यः कारणार्णवजले भजति स्म योगो निद्रामनन्तजगदण्डसरोमकूपा आधारशक्तिमवलम्ब्य स्वरूपमूर्तिम् गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं भजामि यस्यैकनिष्कृतकलामतावलम्ब्य जीवन्ति लोमविलजा जगदण्डनाथा विष्णुर्महास इह यस्य कलाविशेषो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं भजामि भास्वान्यथाश्मशकलेषु निजेषु तेजा स्वीयं कियत् प्रकटयत्यपि तत्त्वतत्र ब्रह्माय एष जगदण्डविधानकर्ता गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं भजामि यत्पादपल्लवयुगं विनिधाय कुम्भ द्वन्द्वे प्रणामसमये सगणाधिराज विघ्नान् निहन्तुमलमस्य जगत्त्रयस्य गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं भजामि अग्निर्मयि गगनमम्बुमरुद्दिशश्च कालस्तथात्ममनसीति जगत्त्रयाणि यस्माद् भवन्ति विभवन्ति विशन्ति यं च गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं भजामि यच्चक्षुरेष सविता सकलग्रहाणां राजा समस्तसुरमूर्तिरशेषतेजा यस्याज्ञया भवति संवृतकालचक्रो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं भजामि धर्मोत्थपापनिचयः श्रुतयस्तपांसि ब्रह्मादिकीर्तपटगावधयश्च जीवा यत्तत्र मात्र विभवः प्रकटप्रभावा गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं भजामि यस्त्वेन्द्रमथनेन्द्रमहोस्वकर्मा बन्धानुरूपफलभाजनमातनोति कर्माणि निर्दहति किन्तु च भक्तिभाजा गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं भजामि यं क्रोधकामसहजप्रणयादिभीति वात्सल्यमोहगुरुगौरवसेव्यभावै सञ्चिन्त्य तस्य सदृशं तनुमापुरेते गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं भजामि श्रियः कान्ता कान्ता परमपुरुषा कल्पतरवो द्रुमा भूमिश्चिन्तामणि गणमयि तोयमङ्कम् कथागानं नाट्यं गमनमपि वंशी प्रियसखी चिदानन्दं ज्योतिः परमपि तदा स्वाद्यमपि च स यत्र क्षीराब्धिः श्रवति सुरभिर्यश्च सुमः निमेषार्धाख्यो वा व्रजति नहि यत्रापि समयः भजे श्वेतद्वीपं तमहरिह को लोकविद्यम् विदन्तस्ते सन्तं क्षितिविरलचारा कतिपये। श्री श्री ब्रह्म संहिता की।
It's 5.57. It's 5.57.
जय जय श्री नरसिंह, श्री नरसिंह जय जय। Lyrics, lyrics. Just the lyrics. Lyrics. Sanskrit document. The first one. This one. No, Sanskrit. There was one Sanskrit. Yeah. First, I think first one was Sanskrit. We'll sing this in song format.
Hare Krishna. Today's Abhishek is being sponsored by Murli Chandrasekharan, Vasi Parthasarthi, Shamughi Parthasarthi, Gautam Vishnu, Yelena Hindman, Oleg Kadinsky, Rajkoti Dasri, Arjun Das, Arjun Ganju, Alicia Macta, Kavita Atri Ganju, Kishan Ganju. The Gotra is Vashishta Gotra and Kritika Nakshatra. And also we have Sachi Mata and Jatuguru Prabhu and the entire family.
So we'll sing along. So kindly we have to follow and respond, but sing along. If you miss, sit here from me. Sit very near. Sit very near. नरसिंह कवचं वक्षे प्रह्लादेनोदितं पुरा सर्वरक्षाकरं सर्वोपद्रवनाशनं नरसिंह कवचं वक्षे प्रह्लादेनोदितं पुरा सर्वरक्षाकरं सर्वोपद्रवनाशनं सर्वसम्पत्करं चैव स्वर्गमोक्षप्रदायकम् नरसिंहं देवेशं हेमसिंहासनस्थितं विवृतास्यं त्रिनयनं शरदिन्दुसमप्रभं लक्ष्म्यालिङ्गितवामाङ्गं विभूतिभिर्भुभाश्रितं चतुर्भुजं कोमलातं वारुकमलसंवासं कृत्वा तु कवचं पठे सिंहो मे शिरः पातु लोकरक्षार्थकं भव सर्वतोऽपीतं भवात् पालनं मे रक्षतु भवेत् नृसिंहो मे वृषं पातु सोमसूर्याभिरोचनः श्रुतिं मे पातु नरहरिः मुनिवार्यस्तुतिप्रिया नासामि पिङ्गलासस्तु मुखं लक्ष्मीमुखप्रिया सर्वविद्याहिता पातु नृसिंहोऽर्चना वक्रं पातु इन्दुवदनं सदा प्रह्लादवन्दितः नृसिंहो पातु मे कण्ठं स्कन्धो भूधरणान्तको दिव्यास्त्रशोभितो भुज नृसिंहो पातु मे भुजौ करो मे देववरदौ नृसिंहो पातु सर्वदा हृदयं योगिसाध्यात् निवासं पातु मे हरिः मध्यं पातु हिरण्याक्ष वक्षतु श्रीविधारणा पातु नरहरिः मनाभि ब्रह्मसंस्कृतः ब्रह्माण्डकोटया कट्या यस्यास्तु पातु मे कटे गुह्यं मे पातु विज्ञानं मन्त्राणां गुह्यरूपधो गुरो मनोभवः पातु जाह्नवी वररूपधे जन्मे पातु दयाभार हर्ताय कौमुकेश्वरी पुरराजप्रदा पातु पादौ मे नरहरीश्वरा सहस्रशीर्षा पुरुषा पातु मे सर्वशास्त्रम् महोदयपूर्वको पातु महावीराजशोभितः महादेशोरक्षितेतु महाज्वालस्तु मेरुतम् पश्चिमे पातु सर्वेषु पश्चिमे सर्वतोमुखा नृसिंहं पातु वायव्यात् सौम्यां भूषणविग्रहा ईशान्यां पातु भद्रो मे सर्वमङ्गलदायका संसारभयतः पातु मृत्योर्मृत्युर्मुखेश्वरी इदं नरसिंहकवचं गहनानामखण्डितं भक्तिमान्यपठेन्नित्यं सर्वपापैर्मुच्यते Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, श्री नरसिंहदेव भगवान की, प्रहलाद महाराज की, नरसिंह जयंती महामहोत्सव की। श्री नरसिंह जय नरसिंह, जय जय श्री नरसिंह, श्री नरसिंह जय नरसिंह, जय जय श्री नरसिंह, श्री नरसिंह जय नरसिंह, जय जय श्री नरसिंह, श्री नरसिंह भक्ति प्रहलाद महाराज की No, I think. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Canto 7, chapter 8, and verse number 17. सत्यं विधातुं निजभृत्यभाषितं व्याप्तिं च भूतेषु अखिलेषु चात्मनः अदृश्यतात्मतरूपम उद्वहन् स्तम्भे सभायां न वृतेन मानुषम् सत्यं विधातुं निजभृत्यभाषितम् व्याप्तिं च भूतेषु अखिलेषु चात्मनः अदृश्यता अति अद्भुतरूपमुद्वहन् स्तम्भे सभायां न तुलेन मानुषम् सत्यं विधातुं निजभृत्यभाषितम् व्याप्तिं च भूतेषु अखिलेषु चात्मनः अदृश्यता अति अद्भुतरूपमुद्वहन् स्तम्भे सभायां न मृदं न मानुषम्. To prove that the statement of his servant Prahlad Maharaj was substantial, in other words, to prove that the Supreme Lord is present everywhere, even within the pillar of an assembly hall, the Supreme Lord Hari exhibited a wonderful form never before seen. That form was neither that of a man nor that of a lion. Thus, the Lord appeared in his wonderful form as Narasimha
Once again, we thank all the devotees who have sponsored today's feast, have sponsored also in the past. So we would like to express our gratitude to all the devotees who have sponsored today's feast and also today's Abhishek. Preeti Sridhar, she has sponsored full day worship, offerings, and the feast, and also the Abhishek. Murli Chandrasekharan Vasi Parthasarthi, Shamugi Parthasarthi, Gautam Vishnu for sponsoring the entire Abhishek. Yelena Hinman, Oleg Kadisky, Rajkoti Dasri, Arjun Das, Alicia Magdab, Kavita Atri Ganju, Kishan Ganju. And also in the past, of course, we had one more family. We have Sachi Mata, Chaitaguru Prabhu, and their entire family as sponsored today's feast and today's Abhishek as well. In the past, we got sponsorship for everyday bathing. So as you know, we have started a sponsorship where we will do the bathing of their lordships, Shri Radha Gopalabha, Shri Gaurnika, and Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharaj, every day, on those who sponsor the bathing. So in the past, these are the devotees who have sponsored. We have Sachisuta Prabhu, Jyotirmay Mataji, and Vachaspati and Shripati. They sponsored the Abhishek and full day worship. Radhika Patel, she has sponsored the Gaurika bathing, and Partha Datta he has sponsored the bedtime meal and speech offering. So today we take this opportunity to thank all those devotees in the past who have sponsored, and also all those devotees who have sponsored today's Narasimha Caturdasi feast and the Abhishek by chanting one Hare Krishna Mahamantra for all these devotees. So please join with me in chanting one Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Wish you all a very, very happy Narasimha Chaturdashi. So we'll have this online class again on Sunday. As you know that we have Sunday feast online, as well as we have Saturday and Sunday. We have a Srimad Bhagavatam class in the morning, and from Monday through Friday we have Bhagavad Gita sessions, and also we have Bhagavad Gita readings. So please do join us and take advantage of these online classes. We will also be having a special classes very soon. Stay tuned for more updates and details. You can visit our website www.iskonboston.org, or you can be part of our WhatsApp groups, ISKCON Boston News, and other groups. Thank you. Wish you all a very, very happy Narasimha Chaturdashi. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Narasimha Dev Bhagwan ki jai. Jai Gaur Premanandi.